The event, this is an event that's not going anywhere. It's going to continue long after I'm gone. And when I went to Barlow and asked them to be the presenting sponsor, I think it took Liz about 5 minutes to come back and say absolutely we'll be the presenting sponsor. So I really want to thank Liz and her whole family over at Barlow Buick GMC in Manahawkin. It really meant a lot for me to partner with you and really appreciate it. I want to talk about our directors and these new people that are behind me who are really special. Very quickly, our directors with us today, Kristen is floating around somewhere, right here. Steve and Danny behind me. Kim was here, she left. And Tim ran a half marathon yesterday in Kentucky. He'll be up for the run for home. Our directors serve on a 100% volunteer basis. All their time, all their energy, it's all given back to the foundation. All their work for the events, everything, it's all on them. And I can tell you they do more behind the scenes than you will ever know. So please give them a round of applause for all their work. Two more things. Our sponsors, who Jill mentioned some of them, our sponsors mean the world to us because without them, and that includes our food vendors, people that come out, Jenny who does our shirts, all those are partners. They're family to us, and they make what we do a little easier. So we appreciate all their support. Lastly, a lot of people in here know my story. And we started to think as a team that really you need to hear from the people that are directly benefiting from this. I can tell you about them, and I do tell you about them all the time. But for you to actually hear from those people may mean a little bit more to you than just hearing it from me over and over and over again. So we put together a patient advocate committee made up of nurse navigators, patients, caregivers, people that are directly impacted by you being here today. Nobody can speak more about that than them. So I'm going to actually hand off the mic and let them talk about what it means to you. And Dawn's going to do that for me right now. All right? Please give Dawn a big round of applause, please.
Before I tell you my story, I want to thank everyone for being here today. To the people here that haven't been affected by cancer, to those that have donated their time, resources, and money, and are doing so out of the kindness of your heart for people you don't know, I can't begin to describe how your support impacts families like mine. This foundation is all of you, and we wouldn't be anything without its generous supporters. I know I don't speak for myself when I say the families that you are helping are forever grateful. I promise you. Now, to those of you here that have had cancer touch your life, whether it was a family member, friend, child, spouse, or yourself, if you are in treatment or out, thank you for being here, for being a part of something bigger than the C word, or letting the disease define any of us. To me, a hero is defined as an ordinary individual who finds strength to persevere and endure in spite of overwhelming obstacles. Which means that we have an army of heroes in attendance today. Whether you fought your battle and won, or held the hand of a loved one that did, you're here today, you persevered. For those of you present in honor of those that cancer stole from us, you too have endured, and your heroes live on through you, and their presence joins us everywhere we go. And finally, to those currently in their fight and have made it a point to be here regardless. I doubt I speak for myself when I say you are the embodiment of bravery. My respect for you is immeasurable. You have my utmost respect for rising above when not a soul would fault you for not. If cancer has taught me anything, it is that someday your pain will become the source of your strength. Embrace it with the bravest heart you can. Know that you will make it. Carry that belief with you. And that alone will see you through. The diagnosis for my 19-month-old daughter, Elena, was numbing and surreal. I was more overwhelmed than I have ever been or will ever be again in my life. I went from picking Cheerios off the floor and fighting to get my stubborn toddler to drink from a sippy cup, to watching her get sedated, learning the chemotherapy drugs and stressing over blood counts, not to mention worrying about the effects all of this would have on her big sister Annalise. The majority of these first several weeks, I was on autopilot. And once the reality set in, I felt like I was drunk. That's when I met David Caldarella. It sounds so cheesy using the tagline, "A beacon of hope," but there's no other way to describe what he did for my family. Beyond providing such crucial financial assistance, the foundation he created threw me a life preserver in every way imaginable. David was a comfort when I needed it, and reassurance being a cancer survivor himself. And that's why we're all here today, to support those in need of that comfort, reassurance, and financial aid, to be that beacon of hope to those that so desperately need it. On May 19th, in just a few short weeks, Elena will celebrate her 1-year milestone of being off treatment and cancer-free. It's hard to describe what this occasion means to me. To have witnessed her growth and tenacious spirit blossom and continue to shine this past year, while remembering the tremendous fight she survived to get her to this point is overwhelming. Something so simple as watching both my girls playing outside and not having to worry about blood counts and germs has me beyond grateful. Beyond Elena's strength, Annalise's maturity, and our family's determination to move forward, it is the knowledge of the support that surrounded us, and still does, that got me through even our worst days. Thank you just doesn't seem to cover the gratitude families like mine have for all of you and for this foundation. But it's a start. Thank you.